magulos. Oh, may si bro na klase ba? May sabi na klase. O, sosyal. Good afternoon. Wala pang iban?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. So last meeting, we discussed the introduction of computer programming. So we know the two fundamental ideas of computer science, which is the algorithm and information processing, and we discussed them, no? And of course, we already introduced the structure of a modern computer system. So we already also discussed the history of computing systems. So from 19th century and so on, no? So today we will be discussing the our main language. So we will be having a brief background So a computer is generally or is a general purpose machines. Okay, so which can perform many computational tasks, and the modern the computers that is or I don't know that we have, they can perform billions or trillions of calculations within a fraction of seconds. So it depends on the processor or CPU natin. So it depends kung pila ka gigahertz yung or cycles per second, or that will become your computations per second. And so these computers, they can't really do anything on their own without user intervention or without human intervention. So for a computer to do something, one has to give instructions to it, and these instructions will contain step-by-step information to perform a specific task. And these tasks are called program. Okay, so we have here an instructions that will contain step-by-step information, and these specific tasks are called program. So the person who is going to write these instructions or the program is what we call programmer. And here, the programmer will write the program and the computer will execute that, or computer will work on that instruction. So dito si programmer, then progresses ng instructions, which consists of program, into a computer, and the language in which the instructions are written, or the language in which the program is written, is what we call the programming language. So today, there are several types of programming languages. So we have Java, C++, C#, Ruby, and Python, and so on. No? Maraming klaseng programming language. So it depende sa iyong mga paggagamitan. So computers are built to understand the binary language, or what we call the machine language, which uses 0 and 1. And since it is difficult to code, so assembly language uses mnemonic. Okay, so assembly language which uses mnemonic are invented. So after that, middle and higher level languages were invented. So there are two types of programming languages, the middle level language and the higher level language. So program written in the middle or higher language are converted to machine code and executed in either through the compilation method or by the using interpretation method. So there are two types of method. Ginagamit siya for compiling, and ang isa is interpretation. So languages which use compilation method is what we call compiled languages. So for example, we have Java, C, C++, etc. So languages which use interpretation method naman are called interpreted languages, such as Python. Okay, so here are the examples of higher level languages. We have Python, PHP, JavaScript, and for the middle level languages naman, we have C and C++. So these are just example. So what is Python? So Python is a programming language. So in other words, it's a language you use to write programs. Okay, so a program is a set of instructions that tells a computer how to do something. That's why hindi pwedeng as is lang yung computer. So it needs a human intervention that will write a program. Okay, so we can't use a proper language like English or English grammar to do this, because proper English is just too confusing for a computer to understand. So for example, let's consider this instruction. A doctor's instruction: drink your medicine after a hot bath. Drink your medicine after a hot bath. So we would probably take a hot bath and then drink our medicine. But sa computer, it would probably drink the hot bath and then drink its medicine. Gets yung ang logic. So iba yung pagkaintindi sa computer kasi sa human. Okay, so that's why ang proper English, it's something confusing sa ila. Yan. So you can interpret the above instructions either way, because the English language allows you to write ambiguous statements. So programming languages must be designed so that instructions written with them are not open to interpretation. So meaning they must tell the computer precisely and ambiguously what to do. So this usually means breaking down actions into a sequence of simpler steps. So instead of correct grammar, why not make it simple steps? Okay, so let's say first step, take a hot bath. Then second step, drink your medicine. So it's just the same with drink your medicine after a hot bath. Diba? So after, or a programming language forces us to write instruction in this way. Okay? So meaning may ara kita sang sequence of steps. So Python is one of many programming languages invented to provide humans with a way of telling the computer what to do. So we have here an example. So being a programmer, let's say Juan said, Ted, please go to the market and buy 1 bottle of milk. If they have eggs, bring 6. So anong pagkaintindi mo sini kung ikaw si Ted? So makadto ka sa market, tapos mabakal ka sang isa ka bottle sa milk. Pero kung may ara sila sang eggs, makuha ka sang 6. So anong 6 what? 6 eggs dapat, di ba? So Ted came back with 6 bottles of milk. So why? Why the hell did you buy these 6 bottles of milk? So haba naman ni Ted, because they had eggs. So did you get the logic here? So ang pagkaintindihan ni Ted, kung meron silang itlog, bili siya ng ng 6 na bote ng gatas. Diba? So iba yung logic dito. Okay? So let's get ready. So getting ready. So before you start your journey in programming, so you must download first, and install the tools that will make this possible. So installation will take a little while depending on the speed of your network connection, of course, yung internet speed. And will be a few occasions when you'll just have to sit and wait while things are fetched from the internet and installed. So all the tools we'll use are free to download and install. So open source ni siya ang atong software, which is available to this link sa dalong. That is https://www.python.
Python aton gamiton nga programming, sir.
Yes, we will use
Language.
Python programming.
Sige, sir. Amo na bisang senior high sang visual kag Sublime.
Yes. You will use that one. Ang Sublime naman is a text editor wherein you can
Website. Amo da, sir, sa Sublime website.
Yes, it's a text editor wherein you can code for your website. And of course, you can use it also for your Python programming language. Yan. So, ang ang other alternatives ng Sublime is Notepad++ or Notepad mismo. Yan. So if you have a PC or Windows PC, you can download and install Python from the Python website. Okay, so kung wala man, I think we have an alternative using your mobile phone. So the link or the sources is already I think ara siya sa references sa aton nga LMS. So you can have a PyDroid 3. So IDE for Python 3. Or we can use kung hindi masyado taas ang specs ng inyong laptop or PC, we can use the online compiler. Okay, ara man na siya sa aton nga references dira sa aton nga LMS. Yan. Okay. So ito. So on the download page, so ito yung makikita mo. So you'll want to download the version. This is the latest version, 3.10.2 of Python. So just click the button to start the download. And once the download is finished, you can start installing the program. So the Python installer program will load Python into your computer and make it available for use. So there are several settings dito, but I recommend na is lang siya. Okay, so default settings. Okay. So ito na siguro yung i-add nyo. I-check nyo tong boxes na to, dalawa. And then just click install now para automatically ma-install siya. Okay, so to ensure that you have a usable installation, so you need to test it. Basta test natin. So it's important to know that your installation will work as expected when you need it. So of course, this means writing your first Python program. So first, we can have here an IDLE, or a short for Integrated Development Learning Environment. So parang ano siya, parang GUI siya ng ng coding mo. Okay, so dito ka magpo-code sa IDLE mismo. So IDLE provides two ways of interacting with Python. So the first one is shell, wherein you can type Python commands that are executed instantly. Okay, so automatic i-execute niya na once nga nag-type ka sa IDLE mismo shell. Okay. And the other one is text editor, or Sublime, Notepad++, or simply Notepad, wherein you can write or create your program code and then i-load mo lang siya sa IDLE mismo. So once you load it, then automatically you can run it also. So hindi siya parehas ang automatic nga sa shell na executed instantly. And so we have here open IDLE. So first open the IDLE environment. So in Windows 10, you can just see here sa left side. Makita mo yung IDLE Python 3.10. Yan lang yung i-click mo. Then you will have this one. Okay, so you can have this. Ito na yung IDLE shell mo. Wherein ito yung command prompt. At dito ka rin mag-type ng yung code. Okay, so a shell encloses or wraps around, so something that the IDLE is enclosing the Python engine. So the Python engine is what runs Python programs. Okay, so the IDLE Python shell takes Python commands, and then it feds them into the Python engine, and then displays the result automatically, like this one sa baba. So to see Python work, you can just print, then this is my first Python program, and then press enter. But in wait, I will just share my screen. So we'll stop share. I will just share my entire screen para makita nyo. So can you guys see my entire screen? So just minimize this one. So you have here your IDLE. Ito na siya. Yan, ito yung makikita mo. So kinonfig ko lang siya as yung yung theme niya. So pwede siya maging classic, pwede siya maging dark or something new. So sa akin dark lang. Ayan. Para hindi masilaw sa mata. Okay, so you can have that one. So in order to test, ano sabi dito? So you need to type print, then so this is your command to print something. Then close with colon, this is your colon and quotation. This is your this will be your output later on. And so we have to use the print command. So let's try print. So makikita nyo may ibang kulay yan. Then ano yung piprint mo? This is my first program. Then enclose with quotation and closing parenthesis. And once you enter, so this is one of the example na in a shell, it automatically executes. Ayan. Okay. But you can use also with the use of Notepad++ or simply or a simple simple text document, no. Okay, so let's try. So print. So this is my first program. Yan. And then what you will do is save this file as a py. Okay, so you can save this one. So desktop na natin. Save type, all types. And then ano yung ano nito? File name. So try natin first program .py. Okay, then click save. So automatically, makikita mo dito is ito na siya. Wherein nakita mo yung logo ng Python, meaning this is a Python file. Okay, wherein you can open it directly. Pero once in-open mo siya, I think mag-close to. Okay, kasi ito lang yung ano natin. So let's try. So i-open ko siya. Ayan, yun lang yun. Pero pag niload mo yung program mo, so let's say, saan yung Python ko dito? Ayan. So ilo-load ko siya yung program ko. So just select file, then open, and then just select kung saan din siya na save. So ito siya, first program. Then I click open. Automatically, ito siya. This is the ang unod sang imo nga file, di ba? And then just simply click run. Then ito na yung program. So ito na yung output niya. This is my first program. Ayan. So na nyo, hindi siya automatic close, pero nag-output siya ng result based sa dito. Okay? So this is your program. So later on, for your exercises, so you can write the same. So let's say, ano ba yung first exercise ninyo? I think meron kayong first exercises dito. Seat work pa to. Ito ba yung seat work? Diba? Ay ba to? I think ito siguro yung assignment. Ay, hindi rin. Dito sa module 3. Ayan. So ito, gagawa kayo ng sariling program that displays your details like a name, age, address, contact number, email address, and then you save your work as last name underscore lab-1.py. Then upload nyo siya dito. So paano ba gumawa nito? I'll just teach you para may idea ka mo later on sa mga future projects or future code. So I will just close this one. Okay. So I will not use the shell. No? So for this case, you need to write it sa notepad or something kahit anong editor yan. Okay. So you can write it in a text, then save it as py. Okay. So for example, so in this laboratory, so you will just only use the print function. Like this one, print, then name, then your name. Yan. Then, how about meron tayong next age. So, nagaling natin. Print, age, 27. Oh, hindi na ako 27. 31 na ako. Yan. This was 4 years ago. Then, address. So, Bolo, Ross City. Yan. Oh, meron tayong kulang. So, be careful to check your open your closing statement. Then, what you will do is save. And basic instruction, save as type, so all files lang. And then what we'll do is your last name, say Volkirin, underscore lab -1.py. Huwag niyong kalimutan yung .py kasi pag hindi niyo nilagyan yan, magiging file na yan. So it will become invalid. And so yun na yun. Then close. And then, ito yung isasabit nyo, yung file na to. Tapos yung gagawin ko is, syempre, check ko yan. So i-open ko siya. So I will edit with idle. I-edit ko yan. Ayan. And then, saka ko siya i-run. Ayan. So ito yung output niya. Okay, so the same as this one, sample output. So you have now your idea for your laboratory exercise 1. Okay? So going back sa ating lecture, okay, so just a simple ano lang. Saan ba tayo? Okay, tapos na tayo dito. Ayan, so ito na yun, no? So ito yung mga mga idle color natin. Ayan, so the codes. So color codes ng ating ng Python natin. So there are the various entries for you so that they are easier to see and understand. So for purple, it indicates that you have typed a command. So when you say when you see the purple color, let's say print, so meaning you use the print command or print function. Then for the green one, so this specifies the content sent to a command. So ito yung nasa loob ng yung command. Ayan. And then the blue one, so this will be the output from a command. So ito na yung output mo. Ayan. And black naman, so it defines non-command entries. So parang info lang. So hindi siya, wala siyang kinalaman dito sa program mo. Okay. So think of the idle shell as a waiter in a restaurant. You tell a waiter that what you want to eat. He goes off the kitchen and asks the chef to make the food and then brings the food to your table. So the waiter serves as a shell. So parang ito yung waiter mo sa sa loob ng kitchen. So you can use idle to say hello to Python. So you can just type hello. So let's try kung anong magagawa ni Python. When you say hello, hello. Oh, may error tayo. So I will just i-config ko na lang sa light. Para makita nyo. Sa classic tayo. And so you see, red. Red yung color. Tapos error siya, Trace back most recent call last file. So line 1. Ito yung line 1 natin. By the way, you can see the lines, Ito yung line number. So this is 8 na. So ito yung 1. Wait. Ito ba yan? Yan. Yan. So saan ba yung nag-error tayo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Diba? Pero yung error natin dito is nasa line 1. So bakit sa line 1? Kasi dito tayo nag-start. So meaning yung line dito represents the starting line kung saan tayo nag-code. So dito tayo nag-start. So 1. So mainly, dinefine niya to as an error. So saan ba yung error? Dito sa line 1. Okay? So may error tayo sa line 1. Because hello is not defined or hindi niya kilala kung sino si hello. Or wala siyang command o wala siyang kilalang hello dito. So hindi yung tinawag nating hello is unknown sa kanya. Okay? So not defined. Yan. So ano mangyayari dito? Let's check. So it did not go well. So as a rule of thumb, when the computer prints a message in red, so this is usually bad news. Okay, so bad news siya. So bakit bad news? So in this case, the rather long-winded message in red is telling us that Python does not recognize the word hello. So whenever you type a command, okay, so the program behind the Python shell will look through the list of words it understands and try to find one that matches. So meron tayong list of words na naka-reserve later on na hindi siya pwedeng gamitin for as a variable. Kasi ito yung parang part na word or ito yung list of words na pag-aari ni Python. Yan. So the word hello is not defined on the list. So Python issues this error. So this is a bit like asking a waiter for a dish that the chef doesn't know how to cook. Yan. Ito yung explanation niya. So it's just like asking a waiter for a dish that the chef doesn't know how to cook. So ito yun. So I suppose that Python shell could have printed, I don't know what hello means. Di ba? So pwede naman siguro na hindi ko alam kung ano yung hello na yan. But that would make it too easy. So as you will find out or may already know, computer error messages have a way of making simple mistakes sound really complicated. So parang sa tingin mo, parang saan ba yung error dito? Anong traceback to? So meron ka ng idea, nandito yung error sa line 1. And yung may kinalaman dito is ito, hello. Ito yung description niya. Name hello is not defined. Yan. Okay? So in the next chapter or next module natin, so we'll explore in more detail how to use Python shell to discover what computers actually do when they run programs. However, for now, we can end our discussion with shell by typing import this. So which activates the an Easter egg. So let's try if this is still, if nandito pa siya, import this. So import is, anong kulay ito? Yung import. Yan. So ito yung parang naka-default, no? Ito yung parang naka-default na program for testing. Yan. And of course, type quit and press enter. So the idle may display a message such as the one shown. Ito. So just click OK and the session died or it will close the application. So just issue a quit command. So the program is still running. Do you want to kill it? Okay. Yun, close na siya. And so notice that the quit command has parentheses after it. So just as the print command does. Okay. So all commands have parentheses like these two. That's how you know they're commands. However, you don't need to tell the quit command anything. So you just simply leave the area between these parentheses blank. Okay. So questions, clarifications. You guys have now an idea. May naintindihan nyo guys ating discussion for today. Okay, so if wala, we will proceed for our next module. I still have more than half now. Okay, so let's have our next module. I'll stop sharing. By the way, ito pala yung sa yung sa online. Wait, I will share again my screen. And hindi ko kasi nakita kasi may drop down yung Zoom dito. Hindi ko maano yung tab. Ayan. So this is the online Python compiler. So let's say dito ka magta-type ng command mo. Okay. So we will later or in the future we will discuss this one. What is the pound sign here doing? Okay. So mostly this is a comment line or comment command. Ayan. So hindi to lalabas sa sa output mo. Ito lang yung lalabas sa output mo. Let's say print hello world. So hello world. Pag niran mo siya, ito yung output niya. So this is an online Python compiler. Okay. So tingnan nga natin pag meron siyang import this. Hindi ko pa na-try kung meron din siya. Ayun, meron din. O, di ba? Ito yung output niya. Yan. Okay. So, marami siyang online meron siyang different programming language. So, we have Python. Then ito naman is C. Then ito naman is C++, Java, and ano ba to? C#, tsaka yung JavaScript. Yan. But we will use the Python one for this for our course. And then for the Android naman, so we have here PyDroid. Yan. So you can use this one if wala kayong laptop or PC. But you have your Android phone. Lahat naman, di ba? Tanan naman, di ba, may cellphone. So there's no excuse to explore the Python programming. Okay. So let's proceed to our next discussion. So this is the introduction to Python. Okay. I will share my screen again. Yeah. Okay, so why do you think you should learn to write programs? Bakit? So computers want to be helpful, but computers are built for one purpose. Okay, so computers are built for one purpose, to do things for us. So, but we need to speak with their language, di ba? Ano yung naiintindihan ng computer? Di ba 1 tsaka 0 lang. And then hindi rin nila alam kung ano mong gagawin. What's next? What's next? What's next? Next. So users have it easy. So someone already put many different programs or instructions into the computer, and users just pick the ones they want or they want to use. Okay. So for example, we have here now, the programmers also need to anticipate needs. So iPhone applications are a market, and iPhone applications have over 3 billion downloads. So this is just for example. And programmers have left their jobs to be a full-time iPhone developers. So meaning programmers know the ways of the program. So some programmer, hindi na sila nagtatrabaho sa isang malaking kumpanya, but they make themselves as an iPhone developer or an Android app developer. Diba? So mas malaking kita nila through ads ng mga applications. Libre lang naman. So what is the difference between users and programmers? So users see computers as a set of tools like word processor, spreadsheet, map, to-do list, etc. While programmers, they learn the computer ways and the computer language. So programmers have some tools that allow them to build new tools, and programmers sometimes write tools for lots of users, and sometimes programmers write little helpers for themselves to automate a task. And so maobra lang sila sang bat file para sa ilang automated script, no? Then isa lang ka-click, automatic yung computer na yung gagawa. And okay. So I think I have a simple script. So I will show to you the simple script that I made. But hindi siya Python na program, but a simple script, no, that used to automate a backup. So I will share my screen. I use this one to back up the Moodle LMS daily. So ito yung ginawa ko para automatic yung server na mismo, yung laptop na mismo, yung computer na mismo yung yung gagawa ng backup para sa akin. Okay. So ito yun. So this is a daily. So ito yung script ko. Ayan. Naka-hash, naka-shell type na script. Okay, so ito yung ginagawa niya. Daily yan. Yung iba binubura ko na. So ito yung sample script. Ayan. Instead na ako yung magta-type nito isa-isa. So ginawa ko is yung computer na mismo yung yung computer na mismo yung inutusan ko yung computer na mismo. Okay. Then meron din logs. So ito yung logs ng ito yung logs ng server. Yan. So naka-schedule siya around 3 AM. Ayan. So kanina, March 2 ngayon. So kanina nag-start siya 3:30. So in-stop niya yung web service. Then minove niya yung old file. So siya na yung gumagawa habang ako yung natutulog. Then doing database backup, compressing the backup file, done. Then delete niya yung old folder. Then compress niya yung bago. Then i-move niya. So imagine pag ikaw yung gumagawa nito manually without the use of computer, without the use of program or your programming skills. Diba? So it's very tedious or very medyo maote, maawat. And so this is just a sample script or sample program that I used. Okay? So going back sa sa ating discussion. Ayan. So we have here hardware architecture. Ano naman yung hardware architecture? So we have here sino nakakita sa inyo isang Raspberry Pi? So this is just an example of a small computer, okay, which runs a Linux or Unix. So pwede ka maka-install ng open source na operating system to run this a simple computer or a small computer. Okay, so generally, it composed of an input and output devices. So I think you already know what are those devices, di ba? Then we have, for the software side, we have central processing unit and the main memory. And in this part, we have here a secondary memory. So ano yung secondary memory dito? Do you have an idea? Ano yung main memory dito? So mainly, yung main memory mo is your RAM. Yung secondary mo is your hard disk or hard drive. Okay, wherein you can store your data permanently. Yeah, so this is just a simple architecture for a generic computing or generic computer. So the CPU here is asking what's next. Pag in-input mo, process siya. So what's next? What's next? What's next? Yeah. So ito lang yung palaging tinatanong ng CPU natin. Anong gagawin mo? Anong gagawin mo? So the definitions here. So here we have central processing unit. So it runs the program. And also the CPU is always wondering what to do next. So not the brains exactly. So it's very dumb but very, very fast. So hindi niya alam yung gagawin niya kasi kailangan niya ng human intervention. Okay? Unless may script ka na ginawa in which na with the help of human as well, yun yung gagawin niya. Yun yung steps niya. O yung, what you call that one? Ito na yung sequence niya. Sequence of steps. Yan. So, main memory. So, this is the fast, small, temporary usage. Storage. And it's lost on reboot. Pag nawala ng power, syempre mawawala rin yung data mo doon. So, this is also known as the RAM or random access memory. And the secondary memory, so this is a slower, large permanent storage. And it will last until deleted. Okay. So example are the hard drive or disk drive and your memory stick or USB, thumb drive nyo. Then we have the input devices, mouse, keyboard, touch screen. And we have the output, your screen, your monitor, speakers, a printer, DVD burner, and so on. So here, we have now some logic here. If x is less than 3, print something. Yan, ito na yung parang naging instruction mo sa kay CPU. Okay. Pag x is less than 3, ipiprint mo yung ganito. Yan. So on the machine side or ito yung human side, di ba? Ito yung kinode mo. Ito yung ginawa mong step. Pero yung naintindihan ni computer is ito. So meaning it converts your program code into machine code or machine language. So that will become 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and so on. So why be a programmer? Why be a programmer? So to get some tasks done. So we are the user and the programmer. So here we clean up survey data, for example, and to produce something for others to use. So that is a programming job. So meaning you fix a performance problem in software. For example, add a guest book to a website and ipapagid. Okay. So computer, this is composed of hardware and software. Okay, so ano yung mga hardware dito? Ano yung mga software dito? So in this part, so it contains data, information, and networks. So from a software's creator's point of view, let's say ikaw yung software creator, we build the software, of course. So the end user, or yung ikaw mismo user, let's say may programmer, gumawa siya ng app na Pydroid para sa Android users. So yun na yung software creator. Pa? So ginagawa nila is they want to please. Okay? So parang they are our masters who we want to please. Yan yun. So they often pay us money. Let's say ito yung mga pro version ng mga applications. Yung mga mobile app na dina-download natin na let's say may free trial siya or limited functions. Meron yan, limited functions, and kailangan mo i-purchase yung pro para ma-unlock mo yung mga functions na yan sa application yan. Yun. So but the data information, and networks are our problem to solve on their behalf. So paano ka maka-access pag wala kang data? Paano ka ma-access pag wala kang information? Or paano pag wala kang network? So yun yung problema natin. Diba? So kailangan mo may data para makapag-download ng software nila or para makapag-purchase ng pro version ng software nila. Yan. So the hardware and software are our friends and allies in this quest. Yan. So tingnan natin yung Python as a language. So ano ba yung Python? So it starts with parcel tongue, which is the language of serpents, and those who can converse with them. So an individual who can speak parcel tongue is what known as, or is what we call parcel mouth. So it's a very uncommon skill and maybe hereditary. So nearly all known parcel mouths are descended from Salazar Slytherin. And you can check the Harry Potter Wikipedia for this one. So Python, ano ba yung Python? Python is the language of the Python interpreter and those who can converse with it. So an individual who can speak Python is known as Pythonista. Yung mga marunong mag-code using Python, tinatawag natin siyang Pythonista o kumbaga rakista. So it is a very uncommon skill and maybe hereditary also. So nearly all known Pythonistas use software initially developed by Guido van Rossum. So ito siya yung nag-develop ng IDLE, yung Python natin na ginagamit na software. Si Guido van Rossum. And so early learner, so we have here syntax errors. Ito yung nakita natin kanina nung nag-type tayo ng hello. So we need to learn the Python language so we can communicate our instructions to Python. So in the beginning, we make a lot of mistakes and speak gibberish like small children. In terms of a Python language, not an English language. And when you make a mistake, the computer does not think you are cute. Okay? So it just only says syntax error. Yun lang yun. Wala siyang sinisisi. Okay? Hindi niya alam na cute ka or maganda ka. It only says syntax error. Ito yung error. Yan. So given that it knows the language and you are just learning it. So it seems like Python is cruel and unfeeling. So parang wala siyang pake. And you must remember that you are intelligent and can learn. Yan, yun lang yun. So the computer is simple and very fast but cannot learn. So it is easier for you to learn Python than for the computer to learn English. Yan. Okay. So talking to Python. paano magsalita sa Python. Okay, so ito na yun. So itong part na to, nandito yung what's next na tinatanong ng CPU natin. Anong next? Yeah, what's next? Okay, what's next? Yan. So ano yung sasabihin natin? What do we say? So we have here the elements of Python. So these are vocabulary or words. So these are variables, no, and reserved words. And we have also sentences or sentence structure. So ito yung tinatawag nating valid syntax patterns or sequence of steps, which will be discussed later on, no? And then we have also story structure. Ito yung parang nagko-construct ka ng program for a purpose. For a purpose. So take note of these reserved words. So meaning these reserved words are not available for use, no? Hindi mo to pwede gamitin. Okay, because pagmamay-ari to ni Python. So these are the reserved words, or some are identifiers, or what we call variable names. Okay? Oh, no. You cannot use these reserved words as variable names or identifiers. Yun pala, baliktad. So these are just commands. So you can use this as commands later on sa ating program, sa mga code, no? So these are just commands. So let's say import. So ginamit na natin to kanina. Ito for for decision making to. So you have if or if else, yan, break. So hindi mo to pwede gamitin as a variable name or identifiers. So pwede siguro lagyan mo lang ng not na double T, or lagyan mo lang ng R. Yan. Pero parang mali. Parang hindi pwede. So think of a word na lang or a variable na pwede or akma sa mga program later. Okay? So let's say hello world. So ito yung kanina. So we use the print, no, na function. So yung print na to, ito rin yung isa sa mga reserved words dito. Okay, sum. Ayan. Okay, ayan. So first we have an input, we input a variable x which has a value of 2. So if we print this x now, yung value niya is 1. Pero bakit 1? Dapat 2 to. Dapat 2 to. Mali. Yan. Wait, tingnan natin x is equal to x plus 1. Okay. Ito. Dito tayo mali. Yan. Save natin. Okay, so for example, we use a variable x which is a value of 1. Then if we print this variable, this x1. So notice, no, wala tayong wala tayong quotation mark. Kasi pag nilagyan mo yung quotation mark, yung ipiprint niya is yung x mismo. Hindi yung variable na value niya is 1. Okay? So we have here x is equals to x plus 1. Okay, so alam niya kung sino yung x dito. Ito yung previous, which is 1. So ilalagay niya dito, pag print mo na to, yung new value of x now is just x, which is the value niya is 1 before, plus 1. So yung new value ng x natin, pag print mo, is magiging 2 na. Hindi na siya yung 1. Okay, get? So marireplace yung old value ng variable with the new encoded one. Okay, so hindi na siya babalik dito sa una. Okay, parang x mo hindi na pwedeng balikan. So we have here sentences or lines. So we have x is equals to. So this is what we call an assignment statement. Wherein nag-assign tayo ng value dito sa variable natin. And here we have assignment with expression. So here we have an expression here which is the positive operator. Okay, and here we have the print statement. Yan. So makikita mo naman yung variable, ito yung kulay orange. That is x. Then operator, ito, that is equal and plus. Then yung constant natin, ito yung parang cyan blue. Ayan, 2. And then yung function natin, ito. Okay. So this is just an example of a program. Okay, I think this is included sa sa Neo LMS, yung words.txt and words.py. So you can use that one. Yeah. So we will continue this one by next meeting because we're already out of time. It's already 3 o'clock. And we still have a class now for the next subject at 4. Okay, so we will continue na lang this one. We will discuss this one sa ating next meeting. Okay, so far, my questions, clarifications. I will stop share and stop recording.